Trump promised, Biden delivered. No infrastructure deal under a Republican Congress. Zero infrastructure deals in his 4 years. The first infrastructure deal was passed since Barack Obama's presidency, right after Joe Biden signed a $1.75 billion bipartisan infrastructure spending bill. Again, the first infrastructure bill since Obama was president. None was passed under Trump. Clearly, Biden is by far the better president for Americans. It has been estimated that the bipartisan infrastructure deal would cut taxes for all households next year, according to estimates from the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center. The bottom 80% would save between $700 to $830 on their tax bills next year, while those earning around $885,000 or more would pay around $55,000 more in taxes in 2022. At the very top tenth of 1%, the 4 million or more bracket would pay an additional $585,000 in taxes to pay for infrastructure. Biden said that your gas prices are not going to go up to fund infrastructure. Period. $50 billion to fight climate change disasters like we saw with the latest hurricane in Louisiana, to modernize the electric grid, to provide widespread broadband internet in rural areas that don't have access to Wi-Fi. Businesses want to move to areas where their workers have access to the internet. This would expand business and economic opportunities to rural America when every American has access to broadband internet. It seems like Democrats always have the right idea in terms of the economy. You saw what happened in Texas. They do not link up with the rest of the electrical grid in the United States of America. $65 billion to modernize the electric grid, $55 billion for water and sewage systems, $39 billion to expand public transportation systems, $25 billion to renovate airports, $7.5 billion for electric vehicle charging stations as we go away from renewable energy. Joe Biden has delivered for America. He has delivered the infrastructure bill that Donald Trump promised America would have, but he broke his promise because he's a lying con man who wants to spread hate and to divide Americans and start petty Twitter fights. Thank goodness, good riddance, we don't have this anymore. Biden said, we are finally getting this done. We are finally getting this done as gematria of Build Back Better. President Joe Biden has gematria of infrastructure bill, which is what the United States of America needs. We cannot continue to fall behind. Broadband internet to rural areas. Biden. Broadband. Bridges. Joe Biden. Gematria 64 and 37. Take a look at the gematria of infrastructure. Infrastructure as gematria 67. The bill was signed on November the 15th of 2021. Date numerology 67. 46 days left in the year. Biden's the 46th president. Now, this was the first infrastructure deal since Obama. 71 to 72 months later, this has passed under Joe Biden. As we try to help the economic recovery from the coronavirus, this all happened under a Catholic president. The Build Back Better Act has gematria of 60. Joe Biden, the 60th election's coming up. This is going to help Kamala Harris win when the economy recovers, because the economic policies are not implemented until 1 to 2 years later under the current administration. So if you're whining about inflation, we're still living under the Donald Trump economy, because economic policies for presidents do not get implemented until year 2, year 3. We truly saw how year 4 happened under Trump. It was a colossal disaster. He did nothing to combat COVID. We finally have an adult in the White House. The Build Back Better Act is going to help the Democrats win the 60th election in 2024. And this has all been passed under a Catholic president, the first one elected since JFK in the year 1960. The Jesuit order was established on September the 27th, 9 months and 27 days later from the inauguration. Joe Biden delivers to Americans. Because as you know, Trump is a colossal waste. He is a bunch of horse manure is what Donald Trump is. And you see that this bill has a lot of provisions to fight climate change, coronavirus, broadband internet, electronic charging stations. All GOP says 78% goes towards infrastructure. This is such a Neanderthal version of infrastructure. Infrastructure for the whole economy is more than just roads and bridges. It is about wide access to the internet. It's all about transitioning away from fossil fuels and fighting climate change by having electronic charging stations. It's about modernizing the electrical grid in the United States of America. Joe Biden has delivered. The original plan was $3.5 trillion. You see how Biden was a Catholic president. $3.5 trillion. Biden's going to deliver. But then, because of, obviously, corporate Democrats, the number was down to $1.7 trillion. We're not going to completely fight climate change with a new Green New Deal. Yeah, Biden has truly delivered. He truly has. He got it done. Absolutely. This is great. This was introduced on September 27th. This is past 9 months, 27 days later. Overall, America is going to be very happy that they passed an infrastructure bill. A bipartisan infrastructure bill, I should add. We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this for quite some time already.